Welcome back. You wanted it, and I have it here for you. Uh, how to take your code and automatically send it to a PDF. It's rudimentary, it has some drawbacks, I realize that, but it does work. Some of the things you'll need for this presentation, obviously, this OSX is Mountain Lion 10.8, I believe it is. Let me just take a double check on this one here. We're at 10.8.5 on this Mountain Lion. And we're also using Automator here, which is version 2.3. And we're using something called CUPS, C-U-P-S PDF, which becomes a printer. And you want to set CUPS as your default printer. Let's just take a quick look at that too. And there it is. CUPS is our default printer right here. So those are the three things you're going to need. And we're going to break this up into two parts in the same tutorial, so you'll get it. The first thing we have to do is you choose Find Finder Items. Here, we want to then, and this is the sort of limitation with this, Part A is specific to your project. So we're going to locate a project here, a project folder. Doesn't matter which one it is. I'm going to come to my desktop here and choose this one here. You don't have to choose the subfolder where all of the, in this case there's a subfolder, sometimes there's a subfolder, and that's where you may have the .h.m files. I've seen examples of that where, for whatever reason, some of them are in the main folder, some of them are in the subfolder. Just choose the main folder. It'll parse through the whole folder to get all the data for you. Okay. And then over here, we're going to choose not all but any. If you choose all, it becomes an exclusive, meaning that you have to meet all criteria. Now, you would think that would work, and I have tried it again and again, and it doesn't work for some reason. Any means meet any criteria and spit it out. And our first criteria is that the file extension is, and you don't have to put the dot here, just put the actual extension, the H, which is our declaration. And over here, do file extension again is, and the M. Pardon me. And open up the results window here and run it. The run is right up here. And you'll notice, right, we now have all of the necessary documents here. Now, it has taken those documents from the routine specified here. The .h's came first and then the .m's. What we want to do is pair them together. We choose the sort here, sort finder. We're going to open the results up as well. N by name, N by ascending. And we're going to run that too. And there we go. And you see the difference here now. I'm pairing my H's and my M's, my declaration and implementation files, and I'm doing it alphabetically. That is going to be how it's going to appear in our PDF. You could choose whichever way you want. If you wanted to do it descending, you have an option to do that as well. And you could, at some limit, you could try to let me put it this way, you could attempt to do it by any one of these criteria here as well. Size, kind, creation date, and so on. We're getting the main file here, which is not really, I'm going to see if we can filter that out where name is not main. And let's see what happens, see if we can get rid of it. And it doesn't seem to work. Main seems to pop up here as well. So that criteria throws things off. We're going to remove that criteria and do a run again here. And of course, main puts itself back in place. You can try to play with this if you want. We can just try or name. It's not. We can try main.m. I don't think it's going to. Let's see if that works. Now it doesn't work. It's going to pick up a whole bunch of stuff, so we're going to just remove that for now. I've not tried that in this, but I was just trying it here, see if it would work. In any event, where we're supposed to be here. So now we've gotten these .h and .m files, exactly what we want to include in a PDF. So the trick here is how to make them in part of a PDF, how to create the PDF. And that comes into something here where we're going to print them. But the trick is here, just by printing them alone is not going to be enough. It really isn't. It's going to print a whole bunch of PDFs for each file, which is what we want. I'm just going to go and show you where Cups prints this information. It's under Users, it's under Shared, it's under Cups PDF, and it's under the username. Now I have one in here. I'm going to just send this off to my trash. But here's a limitation here too. This folder must be clean each time that you run this. So we could go in there and we could create an automated workflow here, which is what that is, to clean out that folder each time. And you can do that if you want. I'm going to leave this here just to show you. I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to run this print here. And so now I should take all of these .h and .m's that are paired in the sort and print them as PDFs. So we're going to run that. And the other thing you have to note too is in order to print these, Xcode has to sort of come up, and you see it come up right now, and it'll print. It'll bring up windows. It'll flash the windows to print these items. And we're going to just come over here, and there they are. Okay, all of them. It's still printing a few more. It's still throwing them out there. You can feel free at any time, if you want to delete this main one. We don't really need it, but we're going to leave it there for the time being. And by the way it prints it out is the way that the printing preferences are specified in Xcode. Now, there's a drawback. If you were to print these individually in Xcode, you would have a header and footer. I'm just going to open one, which it will open in Adobe, just to show you what one of these looks like. It'll look like a PDF. Everything you see, but there's no page 1 of 1 or page 1 of 4. It loses the header and the footer. That's actually a good thing, because you would have non-continuous pages. You'd have like 1 of 1 here, 1 of 1 here. Maybe when you got down to one of these files, it would be like 1 of 4. All right. So now we have the PDFs that we need, and we're going to save this. We're going to save this here, and we're going to call this app to PDF _1. We're going to save it to our desktop. And then we're going to go File New, just to show you how the Automator will bring things up. We're going to bring up a new workflow. And now we have the PDFs that we want. So we're going to file the same sort of pattern we did. Now your question may be, hey Art, why didn't you put this in the first one? The Finder items, I haven't found a way to clear the Finder items. So it would pick up the .h's and .m's as well as the PDFs we have to find. So we're going to look for those PDFs. Remember where I said that they were? If you don't remember, we'll go through it again. And it's in your Macintosh, under Shared, under Users and Shared. Okay, Cups PDF, and under the username. All right, and once again, any, and extension contains, or is, sorry, PDF. Now we should get all those PDFs picked up from here. We're going to run this, and we're going to open up our results here just to show that in fact we have the PDFs that we need. They're all there. All right, there's our PDFs. So the next stage of this game, so to speak, would be to go to our PDFs functions and combine the PDF pages. And you have by either appending them or by shuffling them. I would leave it on appending. This here only filters out what we're looking for. We don't need to filter anything. And we'll run this again. Now this portion here could be run for any application provided the cups folder is clean and has been run for each application. So I'm going to just go, well, I'm not going to save it yet, it'll wipe this out, but let's open this up. You can open this up, just double click on the result, and you'll see it's one of 12 pages, right? And you'll see we'll have our app delegate H, our app delegate M. Now this is the only not so nice thing. It'll throw pages in there, right? This is the ending of that app delegate M. This is the .m file, I believe it is. Then we have our this class.m, and here's the main. This one here is the prefix header. It's a foundation file. I don't know exactly which one it is. You don't have to keep that if you don't want. And again, you could delete those PDFs from the cups folder before you combine. And this is our radio web view controller, our view controller, and our web view controller. It threw in two additionals here, which is this .m test file, which could be from building our application for test. It may be for that. But in any event, you don't have to have that. Now, the great thing about this is I can do a file, save as PDF, right? And I can write this my app to my desktop. It already exists. We're going to replace it because I have already done this worker. I'm going to also save it, by the way, as a text file, just for kicks here. Text accessible, which is fine. My thought about this is I don't know what it's going to look like, but there are two possibilities here. Either import this into a PDF editor, and if you have an idea, please, by all means, share it with the group, share it with me. But let's go to our desktop here, and let's look at the text. It's going to open in text edit, just curiously here. I wonder if we can open it in OpenOffice. Let me just see what will happen. It'll probably try to, in OpenOffice, ask us to determine what kind of code, Unicode, or what kind of text, Western. Yeah, we'll see if it'll give us gibberish or if it'll give us an actual text file. No, it actually gives us a text file. So we could take this, literally take this, if we wanted, folks. Here's an option for you. And we could take this and we could, in OpenOffice or in Word, we could create, we could sort these per page, and then we could create a title page and as well as a table of contents. So this works out well. If you want to do it in OpenOffice, you can. I'm not going to go too quickly here. Yeah, I mean, here it is. It's not in color. This is the drawback here. I'm just going to open up the PDF here. So that's a drawback there. The PDF is in color, so if you can go to a PDF editor, you can probably take this and modify it. Now, it's up to you how you want to go with it, but this is definitely a way to do that, to combine your code into a PDF, and it works nicely. It does. Some things to remember: A, make sure you have cups as your default printer. B, make sure your cups folder is clean each time you print out your PDFs. C, make sure that if you don't want a PDF in there, you can get rid of it. D, when you combine them, make sure you save that PDF during the run as your PDF of your app or as a text. You have the option. It works both ways. The other thing too is that the first portion that we did here was for your app only. The second portion could be applicable to any app. Remember, we're just mining the PDFs and combining them. In the first one, we have to be specific to the app in question because we're looking for the folder for the app. Now, you could modify that and just select a different folder, and then you're good to go. So you could use it as a template and then just change that. And let's take a look at that just quickly as we close out here. App PDF 1. You could simply go in there. Hang on, folks. And if I can get up there, and simply change the search criteria. And you're done. Tell me what you think about that. I want your feedback for it. I want improvements. I'm sure it needs improvements. I'm sure there can be better ways of doing it. But I had to break it up into two. Because again, once it finds the finder items here, unless somebody knows this, I don't know Automator that well, but if you know how to clear the finder items, let me know. Because then you can put it all in one automation step and do it one-stop shopping. So, that's it. That's taking your code and going right to PDF. Any questions, let me know. Take care. Have a good night.